struggling dad took his kid to play soccer, met a woman not knowing she was a CEO, falling in love. The morning sun filtered through the blinds of a modest one-bedroom apartment as Daniel slipped on his worn-out sneakers. His 8-year-old son, Lucas, was already dressed in his oversized soccer jersey, bouncing a ball off the wall with uncontainable excitement. Daniel's chest tightened with guilt. He could barely afford groceries, let alone new cleats, but today was Lucas's big day, a free community soccer event in the park, and there was no way he'd let him miss it. With a thermos of water, a peanut butter sandwich split between them, and an old soccer ball patched with duct tape, they stepped into the day, unaware of how profoundly their lives were about to change. Life hadn't been kind to Daniel. Since losing his wife to cancer 3 years earlier, he'd juggled odd jobs and night shifts, barely making ends meet. Still, he showed up for Lucas. Every school play, every parent-teacher meeting, every scraped knee. He carried the weight of 2 parents on his shoulders, and though the load was heavy, his love for his son kept him going. The park buzzed with energy as kids dashed across the field, laughing and yelling. Daniel found a shady spot under an old oak tree, watching Lucas dart among the others with surprising agility. For a few moments, he forgot about the unpaid bills and relentless worry, just soaking in his son's joy. Then he noticed a woman nearby, sitting alone on a bench with a coffee cup, her eyes following the kids with quiet attentiveness. She was dressed casually, jeans, sneakers, a simple hoodie, but carried herself with the poise of someone who was used to being listened to. Their eyes met briefly. She smiled. Daniel nodded politely and turned back to the field, but after a while, she approached him. "Your son's got quite a spark," she said warmly. "What's his name?" "Lucas," Daniel replied, surprised by her directness. "He's crazy about soccer." She laughed. "I can tell. I'm Emma, by the way." They talked as the game went on. She asked about Lucas, and Daniel, careful not to overshare, told her about their weekend rituals, the late-night homework help, the makeshift dinners. Emma listened, not with pity, but with genuine interest. She told him she worked in business, some boring corporate stuff, she joked, but didn't go into detail. It didn't matter. For the first time in a long while, Daniel felt like someone was seeing him, not just the struggling single dad. Over the next few weeks, they kept running into each other at the park. Lucas adored Emma. She brought orange slices one day, then small cones for post-game ice cream another. She asked Daniel about his job search, recommended a resume workshop, even printed out a few listings she thought might suit him. Her kindness wasn't grandiose, it was simple, quiet, and consistent. Then one Saturday, as they sat watching Lucas try out for a local youth league, Emma seemed hesitant. "There's something I should tell you," she said slowly. "I haven't exactly been upfront about what I do." Daniel looked at her, puzzled. "I'm the CEO of Meridian Ventures," she continued. "It's a company that invests in community-driven startups. I didn't say anything because, honestly, I didn't want it to change things between us." Daniel blinked, stunned. Meridian was a name he'd seen on office buildings downtown. She wasn't just successful, she was powerful. I had no idea," he said, still processing. "Why would you talk to someone like me?" Emma's eyes softened. "Because you're exactly the kind of person this world needs more of. You give everything you have to your son. You never quit. That's strength, Daniel. And I admire it." The words hit harder than he expected. Not pity. Not charity. Admiration. He didn't know what to say, but Emma reached out and squeezed his hand. It was the beginning of something deeper, something neither of them had planned. Weeks turned into months. Emma introduced Daniel to someone in her network who helped him land a stable job with decent pay and benefits. Lucas made the youth team, and with Emma's encouragement, Daniel finally allowed himself to breathe, maybe even dream again. Their relationship deepened not with grand gestures, but with everyday moments, Emma cooking dinner while Daniel helped Lucas with math homework, impromptu Sunday picnics, heartfelt conversations on the porch about loss, healing, and hope. One evening, as fall leaves painted the sky in warm tones, Daniel stood beside Emma at the edge of the soccer field. Lucas had just scored a goal, and the cheers of the other parents filled the air. Daniel turned to her, emotion brimming in his voice. "You didn't just change my life," he said. "You helped me believe in it again." Emma smiled, her eyes glossy. "You saved mine too. I'd forgotten what real connection felt like. You reminded me." Their first kiss came then, unhurried and true, framed by the laughter of children and the fading golden light. It wasn't a fairy tale, it was better. It was real. Their story became a quiet inspiration to others. Not because of who Emma was professionally, but because of who they chose to be for each other. Compassionate. Honest. Brave in the face of hardship. They didn't rescue one another, they lifted each other, equally. Daniel still had scars, and Emma still carried burdens of her own, but together, they built something solid. Lucas thrived, knowing he was loved not just by a father who'd given him everything, but by a woman who chose them both, heart first. And so, a struggling dad who only wanted to give his son a good day at the park found something extraordinary: love, hope, and the gentle reminder that sometimes, the people who change our lives forever are the ones who see us when we feel invisible. Because in a world often moving too fast to notice, kindness doesn't just make a difference, it changes destinies.